I remember when I earned my first dollar in 360, it was an eye-opening experience. I discovered this thing called a 360 camera, and it only seemed like something you would use for fun. But when I earned that first dollar, it opened up a whole new world of opportunity for me, a world that has allowed me to turn my hobby into my career, and I've never looked back. I truly consider what I'm doing now to be my dream job. I get to travel the world, go to awesome places like London, where I am now, and do what I'm most passionate about. And what's exciting is there's a formula to what I did, a formula that you can replicate too. Back in early 2017, I got a message in my Instagram inbox from this girl in the UK who I thought was just an overzealous fan trying to get my attention, and then she started talking to me about what she was doing. She was working in VR here in the UK and doing really well. I would even say she was doing better than me. I could see she was an entrepreneur as well, and she was getting some really big clients in the VR industry and making them her own. So we started talking and we developed a friendship that is probably going to last a very long time. Talking to her opened my eyes about the opportunities that were out there, and I realized they weren't just with what I was doing.
I messaged Ben because I saw what he was doing over on Instagram. I was super inspired by how creative he was getting with 360, and he was the only one really at the time that was putting his stuff out on the internet. There was quite a few people working in 360, but he was the only one that was really kind of making a name for himself. So I reached out to see if we could collaborate, because we were clearly both having success in our own ways, and I wondered whether there was a way to kind of team up and do something bigger. So my background is as a TV producer, and back in 2015 I kind of knew that the industry was dying a little bit. Everything was pivoting towards online and digital. And whilst I was thinking about what I wanted to do, 360 just kind of magically appeared. And because no one was really doing it, I thought this is a great opportunity to really make a name for myself in this new medium. So I bought a 360 camera and I went out and started shooting. It didn't take long before brands started coming to me and asking, how can we make this 360 VR stuff? And quickly I made a name for myself as a 360 producer and director. At the time it was so new that brands didn't really know what to do with it, so they were desperate to find people that had this expertise. And lucky for me, there wasn't that much competition at the time, and so it was quite easy for me to go in and convert them. So quite quickly I started working with Fortune 500 companies, being brought in to direct and produce 360 commercials for Facebook and online, creating VR training for in-house, market research, recruitment, basically everything that fell under the umbrella of VR filmmaking.
After hearing her story, I realized there was a world of opportunity out there that I hadn't even thought of, that pitching 360 video and 360 content to brands offered massive value in ways that traditional photography and video had done in the past. No one was really doing that, and as someone that understood the value of 360 content at the time, it made me wonder, is there something massive here? I realized, however, that the path I was taking was very different to Alex's, and we were approaching monetization in two extremely different ways. My approach was more building a personal brand and finding ways to monetize around that. Her approach was approaching brands and making content for them. They're both two equally valid approaches, but because the 360 and VR industry is still so new, we were two people on our own figuring out the ground rules for ourselves. I've always been a content creator at heart. I like making my own photos, my own videos. It's always been a shame to waste my creative ideas on other people's work. So I made the conscious decision to go poor and sacrifice that instant money for time creating my own content that then led to long-term money. It wasn't easy, and it was a big sacrifice. We all have to eat, we all have to pay rent. So I was working as a videographer at the time, and I scaled down my clients just enough to get by, so I had the majority of my time to create content, build my personal brand that I then monetized after 1 to 2 years. I know it's a long time, right? 1 to 2 years, who wants to wait that long? But if you can do it and you can put out value for that long, then you will never be poor as long as you live. For me, 360 is such a creative medium, and I was getting such enjoyment making these daily 360 photos, tiny planets, 360 videos, and YouTube tutorials. And that's what kept me going. I loved watching my account slowly grow, putting more value out there, growing a brand, and becoming one of the most trusted names in the 360 industry. I know it makes no sense from a financial point of view, but I knew in the long run it was going to pay off big time. For me, monetization exists in so many different ways. Instead of going out and approaching people, they come to me. Every single day I get an email from a company, a brand, a small business that wants to work with me. It's helped me grow my own small business, which is what gets me by from day to day. It gets the rent paid, it puts food on the table doing what I love. But I I also work with brands too on their content, doing it in my own way. All the time I have companies emailing me saying, hey, can you shoot a virtual tour of our business premises? Or can you make a 360 video for this major brand? And you know what I say? Nope. That doesn't interest me, sorry, because I've made my choices, I love what I'm doing, and that isn't what interests me. However, if you do build your own personal brand, you will get clients contacting you, wanting you to work for them, but you need to create that massive awareness first. If you put enough work out there and get good at social media, then it's almost impossible for people to not find you, which is why for me, content creation has proven to be the best method for lead generation. It has taken me 2 to 3 years to get to the point I'm at now, but now I'm in such abundance, I can choose my clients, I can hire and fire my own clients, people that pay me. I can tell them, no, sorry, I'm too busy. I would rather do what I love. So coming from a place of abundance is a really good place to be as a creative trying to earn money from their work. No question, it's a longer path to take when you're creating your own content as your full-time job. But once you reach the point of no return, you're then creating your own content forever.
The business model for this is the same as a videographer or a video production house. I went from being a freelance VR videographer, I guess, to running a production house so that I could have bigger clients, take on more projects and hire more people in on each project. It wasn't long before we were trusted with bigger and bigger projects. Just because we were making content that the clients loved, we were being paid to learn as we were going, we were building our skill sets, we were building our portfolio, and all of a sudden we became trusted by brands. So a big part of why we grew so quickly and got bigger projects was because we were showing the client how valuable VR could be for their company. That's a huge part about selling people on 360. It's what value is it going to give to them. So whether it's getting more engagement on a marketing campaign or creating bigger attention in a training scenario. Either way, you've got to find the value for a client, and that's when they start to trust you and start to open their wallets. So once you've worked on enough projects, you get to a place where you can pick and choose what projects you work on and what clients you want to work with. You can bring on teams to help you realize it or outsource it completely so you've got free time. The reason I've been able to get success quite quickly is because I went into it with a sales mindset. I know how to speak sales and convince people on the value of 360. And that is so important because 360 is really valuable. People just don't necessarily know that yet.
Earning your first dollar will be the best dollar you ever make. You'll be so proud when you make it. You'll be like, oh my God, it's like $1 million. And I remember when I first experienced that and I got my first dollar, it was just the best. And when you do earn it, you'll open up a whole new world of opportunity for making money in 360. So how do you make your first dollar?
Well, if I was just starting out and I really wanted to make my first dollar with 360, I would go to every small business around the vicinity of where I live, save on that travel cost, and I would ask them if I could shoot a 360 video for them for free. Basically like a tour around their business that could be used for marketing or it could be used for recruitment, and then give it to them for free. And if you do a good enough job, next time you'll go back and you can tell them what it costs and they'll pay you.
Another way to go about this is doing the work yourself for free anyway. So creating the content, whether it's you on holiday, whether it's you at home, and just creating awesome 360 content. It can be for Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, but if you can prove to people that you know your stuff and you can create a great result, that's even better than working for free because it means you're creating something that you're deeply passionate about and it acts as your portfolio that you can then push to brands and companies and small businesses as an example of what you can do for them.
I think that's the key to this is you've got to have kudos, you've got to build a good reputation. So whether you're doing it Ben's way or my way, the whole point is that you are proving that you are good at this.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And the beauty of these social media channels is you can create a massive archive of all of your work that you've ever done. So whenever someone discovers you for the first time, they can go to Ben Claremont's Instagram and see the last 1,010 posts that he's made and what they would get if they were to work with Ben Claremont. The same goes with YouTube and Facebook as well. The more content you have on your channel or your profile or your page, no matter where you are, it adds up one after another after another. When people find you for the first time, they'll look at everything you've ever done, and if they like it, they may want to work with you if they have budget.
And just building on that, when you're approaching clients to do service work, it's really important that you start racking up those logos. So the more work you do, the more portfolio pieces you have, the more logos you've got on your website, website, and people will start to trust you and know that you can do a good job.
I think of 360 photos and videos very similar to the way I think about videography or photography. I used to work as a videographer, and I advertised for clients that I could make videos for around Sydney, and I ended up with a big database of clients by the end of 5 or so years that were so reliable that I had to start cutting back on my clients because I was getting too much work. 360 isn't really that different. You're offering them a kind of media that they're using to advertise to their clients, and 360 brings massive value. So if you can convince them to invest in 360, then you would treat it the same way you would treat working as a freelancer or a production company.
Exactly. So whether it's going after clients or going after a marketing or advertising agency, it's no different than photography or video. It is just a new art form, a new medium that can bring those agencies value.
And the key to this is having the sales psychology. You need to be a business person, you need to be an entrepreneur. People aren't going to come to you without any semblance of your work or your presence online. You need to post stuff online so people can find you and have that acting as your portfolio. But you need to have the mindset of an entrepreneur. It's as simple as that. If you want to earn money, you need to have a business mind.
Yeah, it's so true. That switch that you make from being a creator to being a business person is so crucial. That is ultimately the key to success.
And you don't need to go to business school or university. You can self-study. It's free in 2018 to learn almost everything you need to know about business and starting a small business. Do you think I went to business school or got an MBA? Hell no. I just watched a shitload of Gary Vee videos and now I'm good to go. So self-studying through podcasts, through YouTube videos, and anywhere else you can find it, articles, you can learn everything you need to know about business. I haven't paid $1 to learn about business, and now I consider myself a pretty accomplished entrepreneur.
Absolutely, the same for me. I basically sacrificed all of my free leisure time and basically invested that into listening to business podcasts, watching YouTube videos about how to scale businesses, just learning the basics about sales and how you can approach clients and the sales funnel and all of those key things. Again, I didn't pay to do any of that. I just learned it all online, but it came down to dedication and knowing that that's what I wanted to do. And so it did come with a price of sacrificing my free time and socializing and watching Netflix all the time. But actually when it's your passion, you don't mind, because actually I find that stuff really fascinating. And so that's crucial.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what's going to set you up in the long term for having all of that time back. If you can run a successful business, you can travel the world doing whatever you want to do. You can start automating your business. You can pursue your creative ideas as your full-time job. That's basically all I do now is Instagram and YouTube. That's my job. So it's because I had that business mind and I set up a really good future. So this is basically my job now. Instagram and YouTube are what I do. It's what I love doing. I love being creative, and it's because I had the business mind. I set up my business so I have money coming in automatically. I have people contact me. It's on autopilot because I've put the work out there. I've put out the value. I've been able to build my personal brand, and now I'm basically set for life. And this is a formula that can be repeated. You just need to study business, study giving value, putting valuable content out there, and people will come to you and people will buy things from you. Okay, there was just a bomb scare at Buckingham Palace, which is why we interrupted that last clip. And here we are, we're back an hour later to finish our video. This is the kind of dedication you need as a 360 photographer slash videographer wanting to get out there into the world and make money. You need to be dedicated. Hang around when everyone else leaves and you'll find success. Okay, Alex, back to the DSLR. Light is looking good. Any final thoughts on the topic of making your first dollar in 360?
There's loads of ways that you can make your first dollar with 360. The point is though, you just got to get out there and do it. If you're passionate about it, you will find success. Whether that be adding 360 to a service you already provide, if you're in the creative sector, or if you already work in a business, finding a way that 360 could be valuable. Ultimately, we're living in a time where content is king. So 360 video, that's going to be a great value add for anyone really in any industry. So just get out there and see what those white spaces are. If you are working in real estate, super easy, just take a 360 camera along and start to make virtual tours. If you're working in an architecture firm, take a 360 camera along to document your building sites. If you're working in a medical field, use a 360 camera to document testimonials because people find it more authentic. Take 360 photos of businesses and post them on Facebook or Google Street View. There's loads of ways that you can make money with 360, but ultimately it comes down to how convincing are you? Can you convince a client that 360 is going to add value? And the key here is that it actually does add value. No one likes a snake's oil salesman. So find where it adds value, go in there and speak the language of sales. What can you do for them? What will 360 do for their business? It's not about you, it's about them. That's how you make a sale.
Something else I want to add is you need to have patience. It's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to post one amazing photo and then suddenly everyone on planet Earth wants to work with you. You need to consistently put out work, put out value and impressive content for a while before people start contacting you and wanting to work with you. It was never fast for me. A lot of people think I was an overnight success, but I absolutely wasn't. It took 2 to 3 years of me putting out value completely for free before I had everyone in town wanting to work with me. And now I turn down way more people than I say yes to. I would say I say yes to 1 in 10 people that want to work with me now. I get an email every single day from someone that wants to work with me in some capacity, and that's a really powerful place to be as a creative, because traditionally, creatives starve, they struggle, and life is hard from the get-go, especially as a filmmaker. I started as a filmmaker, and it's just a never-ending battle to stay alive, to put food on the table. It's almost not possible in 2018 to make money by making a feature film or a short film. It is so hard. You're constantly fighting to defy the odds, and there are so many competitors out there that are all competing for the same filmmaking grants and the same limited attention that people with money give to filmmakers, whereas making content for the internet is valuable for everyone because it connects consumers with brands, and if your content can help do that, then you will be valuable to brands and they will want to work with you. So I can't stress it enough. Put your portfolio together at all costs. Spend all your spare time putting together great content, build up your Instagram profile, build up your YouTube and your Facebook with amazing content, so that one person that may need 360 content one day goes back and sees it all. They see the value you deliver and they want to contact you because the credibility is there. Having such a strong personal brand on so many platforms is how I monetize and how I'm known as the top guy, which I totally reject, by the way. I don't think that's true at all, but a lot of people call me the king of 360. It's because I've put in the work, I put out content consistently for free, I've given value, and I've got the portfolio. My portfolio is bigger than everyone's on almost every platform. So it's important you build your portfolio so other people that haven't seen 360 before consider you to be that person. So that's all I have to say for now. Hope this was of value. This is Ben and Alex coming to you from Buckingham Palace. And hey, if you want to learn more about monetization and having the right mindset around selling 360 video services, you can see me and Alex in my video course, A Beginner's Guide to 360 Video, and we explore it more in depth, how to build both a personal brand and how to talk to clients in a convincing way, because both of them are equally important in building your brand and making money, turning your hobby into your career. That's the thing I'm most proud of doing, is turning my love of and passion of 360 into my full-time job where I can travel the world, go to places like London, and I get paid. Oh my God, hallelujah, woo! I'm not gonna starve tonight. As usual, hit that subscribe button for more 360 content and things outside of 360 that relate to 360 like this. Alex, where can they find you?
You can find me at AlexMakesVR across all the socials.
You can find me on Instagram here and Facebook here, and we will see you in the next video.